Hello everyone, it's Nina today, and I'm going to do the intuitive channeled messages from Spirit for the Zodiac sign of Libra. And I have meditated on my third eye chakra with the sound Om, and I'm going to channel some messages for you. So, the first thing that I'm picking up is some kind of misunderstanding between you and somebody else, and also miscommunication, that somebody did not express themselves properly, accurately. They didn't speak up the truth about something. They could have left little hints, but because you did not know this person well enough at the time, you didn't understand what exactly this person is hinting. And like you felt manipulated by this person because they were not speaking up their mind straightforward. They did not make sure that they understood correctly by you. They probably assumed that you will understand, but you did not have enough information to be able to put all the pieces together logically, so it makes clear sense to you what exactly this person was doing, or what they were saying, or what they were up to. You could have felt that this person is changing their mind, like once he or she is speaking about one thing, then something happens and he entirely changes, or she into a completely different person, and they started talking about something else. And this really kind of makes you think, like, what is going on here? Because once he's talking about this and then suddenly he changes, and either he completely changes the way he speaks to you, including the tone of the voice, the words that are used, or the manner of speaking. So he could have become a lot more abrupt, or he could have suddenly start talking very short sentences, or suddenly not even having time to talk to you when you want to talk to him. So somebody who cut communication or slowed down communication. The problem around all this misunderstanding was miscommunication. Either this person did not feel comfortable enough to be discussing some issue that they were having with you because they didn't know you well enough to be explaining everything, or they just the way they are, like they don't really explain themselves much. But I feel this really caused you a great upset or upheaval. You felt manipulated. You felt this person just twisted things, like just flipped. And I get also like a bipolar kind of, I would say, personality, because we don't know this person. So he could have this bipolar way of communicating with people, and it's like two people in one. And in a way, you don't know who am I talking to and what is this person's intentions. So this caused misunderstanding. You felt he or she was lying to you, manipulating you. Like suddenly they start to talk about something else, and you felt, hold on a minute, that's not how I work, that's not how it's gonna happen, because I want to know the truth. I want to know what I'm dealing with. And you want clarity. You want like somebody who's upfront with you and honest and fair enough to tell you the truth, so you can make a decision for yourself. Also, I'm getting a masculine energy, which is very impulsive. This person could have a lot of fire energy into them. It could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And I'm getting that this confusion or misunderstanding or something wasn't completely clear between both of you, maybe about each other's expectations, maybe about your plans, like what was going to happen next. That kind of mental confusion could have led to some kind of conflict between both of you. or some kind of confrontation. And this really triggered a negative reaction in this man. And it made him feel like suddenly he reacted quite negatively, maybe angrily towards you. He was already feeling emotionally unstable, and I feel he was anticipating something not to work out, like he wasn't having high hopes. And I feel he overreacted in a way that was maybe a little bit reckless towards you. He either spoke to you in a way that wasn't nice, he could have been rude, he could have been called off plans that you have made previously, or he suddenly panicked and he ran, or he was like pretending to be busy. I'm getting kind of a panicky reaction of him, but because of his fire energy, he came across very abrupt, very hasty, very kind of rude and harsh towards you, quite reckless. He did not think what kind of situation he was leaving you in. Also, I'm getting that you have been waiting on a call from this man because you were making some plans and you were thinking that you will have these plans made, slowly, and or when everything's balanced, when everything is in order, you will make some plans maybe to meet up or to do something. But because of his panicky state, he could have cancelled his plans. And in a way, he lost all the enthusiasm, all the hope, because I feel he came in very hopeful. Like he came towards you very hot, very optimistic, very passionate and positive. And you saw the positive side of him. Then this misunderstanding caused him to switch to his negative side, and you saw how ruthless, reckless, maybe selfish and inconsiderate he was towards you, your situation, your needs, like what you had to get done. So you saw quite kind of almost like aggressive side to him, that he wasn't loving, caring and understanding and patient like you were thinking he will be. He suddenly turned cold. His energy, his like fiery energy was channeled towards something else, not towards you or the situation between both of you. I also feel that this man was driven by fear. It was some kind of irrational fear. He felt he won't be able to go forward with this. He didn't feel strong enough in his leadership ability to lead a situation. He could have well had a good reason to feel that way if he was lacking stability in his life, or if he was lacking emotional stability. And sometimes he could be expecting a little bit too much to come out of it, and he likes to be showing off in front of people. But then he thinks about, how can I take this forward if I don't have what it takes to make a success? So he could have given up on that whole idea of going ahead. I'm getting that he's usually full of a lot of energy. He has a lot of like happy energy about him, but it's not controlled, it's not mature, it's not like steady happy energy. It's more like an overactive personality. Also, I'm getting that he could come across as being a little bit arrogant. The way he spoke to you, you felt disrespected. You felt that he was talking down to you in some way. He wasn't asking you how you feeling, what is your plans, what do you think. He wasn't giving you that normal consideration towards your own situation. He was only thinking about himself, or he just looked like he came across as somebody who is putting himself first. And this is again because of lack of security, or fears that something is going to go wrong, or fears that he's going to lose his image. I feel he misunderstood you. He misunderstood either your silence or if you had to get on with something else. He took this as a possible lack of interest on your side, that you were pulling away from him. And that gave him this irrational fear that he's not kind of leading the way the right way, that things are not happening his way. And because of his insecurity and fears, he sometimes could be a little bit controlling. He could be always like wanting things to happen his way, and if they don't happen his way, he doesn't do anything because he's again afraid of losing control. And I think you were dealing with very unhealed, unbalanced man, somebody who could have suffered anxiety, stress, depression, that he wasn't thinking straight and he wasn't feeling very strong inside to be able to make the right decisions, to be patient, to take things forward when the time's right. Also, I'm getting that this man could be showing off a little bit too much with his like either lifestyle or his professional success, that he likes to come across as somebody who is really great. He likes people, especially women, to be looking up to him and to be admiring him. Either he's just used to be that way or that's just part of his personality. But I feel this man's a little bit toxic because he's not giving the same amount of credit to others. Like, he expects others to give him respect and credit and admiration and to think that he's the greatest one. But on his side, he's not reciprocating this towards others. And you could be a woman who already has done a lot in her life, and you want also some appreciation and respect and somebody to give you credit for it. And he wasn't giving you that. He was all about himself. Also, what I'm getting is that you were talking about doing something or going somewhere, and you really put yourself into his energy. Like, he made you excited, he made you anticipate something great, something good, something really fun is going to come out of it. And then he called it off, and that really put you down. And he could have called it off for a very silly, unreasonable kind of a reason, that he did not give you a good reason, which adds to the insult and the disrespect, because like you felt lied to, you felt like he's thinking you are dumb or something to believe all this. And so what I'm getting is that either he lost interest very quickly because he wasn't getting that admiration from you from the start, or he lost his patience because he was expecting things to happen very fast in his energy, in his pace, in his way, and you are not able to keep up with him. So instead of him slowing down to your energy and to be doing things at time when it's convenient for you, he was like either my way or the highway, and he kind of disappeared or he ran because he didn't feel he was getting that amount of ego boost and admiration from you that he was expecting to get. And I think you grounded him a little bit down to earth again. Also, I'm getting that this man could be trapped in some kind of negative expectation about his own relationships with people. Like, he's having like limiting beliefs that he doesn't think anything great will come out of it, and that's why he's boosting his own self-esteem by showing off a lot or being, the greatest, the smartest, the most handsome one, or wanting to look like in that image in the eyes of others. I'm getting that this guy was very impatient. He didn't give you enough time. He could have been very quickly making a very hasty decision to end or to call off that plan. He ended something abruptly that really kind of upset you or disrespected you because you were just going for it. It takes some time to get into it. and I feel he made some kind of cancellation with you. And I'm also picking up the reason for this to happen was because he wasn't ready to make any plans for the future. I think he very quickly came and very quickly left, and you were not able to keep up with his pace, his quick pace of doing things. And also you were still getting to know him. Maybe you've met him once or twice and you didn't know him that well, so you wanted some time to start getting to know him properly, and he didn't give you that chance to see who exactly this guy was, because what you saw was only a veneer. You wanted to get to know his heart, his mind, his personality before you decide whether you want to go ahead with this. And all you saw in him was this kind of glossy veneer that he puts in front, that he is super handsome and super awesome and everybody admires him. He could be Leo, but quite hurt, kind of a wounded Leo personality. His ego is quite hurt, and that's why he's trying to compensate when he's doing short-lived affairs with women, just to boost his own self-esteem, to see that he's still wanted, that he's still the women are still attracted to him, that he's still desired and wanted. So I'm getting that this man, he was afraid to step into unknown territory, in sense that you could have been a little bit out of his comfort zone. You could have been somebody who is different from what he had known. And because he was so fast, he did not make any plans with you for the future. He could have been quite indecisive, like thinking a little bit too much. How does he want to proceed with this, and what does he want to do next? And I think he decided not to proceed, not to go ahead with either a relationship or whether we've seen you again. And I'm getting that this man felt that if he gets himself into a relationship with a woman like you, that will bring a lot of changes to his life, that he will have to change his ways, and he wasn't ready to make these changes, or he was just afraid to allow the new to come into his life. He was still stuck in his past karmic cycles of doing the same thing over and over again, and every time he gets the same result. So he was afraid to welcome the changes. You brought that change to him because you showed him a different lifestyle, a different understanding of relationships. Maybe you are quite kind of unique type of person for him, which he did not understand at the time, and that lack of understanding created panic in him, and that's why he ran. So also I'm getting that he was having some doubts about it, whether this is going to work out or not. He wasn't 100% sure. He didn't give it enough time to plan, to think, to give it a proper kind of time to develop, to happen in a slow, patient pace. I think he was rushing a little bit too fast, and he was expecting from you an ego boost. And when you did not react in a way to give him the ego boost, that caused that fear, and that caused that kind of panic state in him. On your side, I get that this reckless, selfish, unconsiderate behavior from this man made you feel really played, because at the beginning he came forward very hot towards you, and you were thinking that he likes you, he is attracted to you, he's going to date you, that he wasn't seeing anybody else, and you felt like a romance was starting. You could have invested yourself into that beginning first stages of a romantic relationship, but the way he ran as quick as he could, it made you feel really dumped, like really disrespected and duped and lied, because you felt that this person either wasn't attracted to you enough to keep on going with the dating experience, or he was manipulating your emotions for you to trust him, to fall for him, to allow him into your personal space because you were thinking you were starting a romantic connection with him. You could have invested yourself emotionally. You believed him that he had all the best intentions, but he just didn't give it a chance to grow into a romantic emotional connection. Okay? And you could have felt emotionally manipulated by this person, that as soon as he got what he wanted, he ran and he disappeared, and he didn't even give you an explanation why was this behavior. And also, if you had any intimate relations with him, you could have felt used. Like, you could have felt used for one night stand, when you were thinking that you're only starting like a romantic loving relationship with him, but it never went that way. You know, he just came and then he just left. And also, you could have felt unloved, you could have felt rejected, especially if you were a single woman who was looking for romance, or you were looking for a partner, or you were looking for something a bit more emotionally fulfilling to come out of it. You were looking for someone to love and your emotions were in place. But after this, you felt your emotions were really hurt. You either felt rejected by him or not good enough for him, that he did not continue with the romantic relations. He could have dated other people after this, but he did exactly the same with them. It's because this man is unhealed. He needs to work on himself before he gets himself involved romantically with women, because the kind of devastation and turmoil that he lives, he could be even damaging your own self-esteem and your own self-worth as a woman, by the way he behaves. Okay, you could have felt really hurt by him and resentful to the whole situation. I feel this guy just left you hang out to dry there. He could have said something like he will call you later, and he ghosted you, and you were waiting to hear, and you were wondering what's going on, what's going to happen, because he didn't give you enough answers and he didn't give you closure. And I feel this man really did wrong to you. Also, you could have been a woman who has been single already for a long time. Like, you could be either like a single mom, or somebody who is divorced, somebody who went through a very negative past relationship in the past. So you were overly cautious and very careful, like how you get yourself involved again with another man. And that kind of misbehavior on his side kind of really hurt you even further. And I feel that kind of in a way was like the last nail in the coffin, that you did not want to open up to another romantic relationship after this. You could have given yourself a vow that you will never ever allow yourself to be used again, or that you will never allow a man to manipulate your emotions to that extent. You could have felt really humiliated by him, because you could have told people about this new guy that it's really hot about you and he really likes you, and he's talking about dating, and he could have said something that he's looking for a relationship. So you had your trust in him, and you had your high hopes that this is something good. And after all of your misadventures in the past with previous partners, or after long years being single, you finally found someone who is good and who is decent and who is honest, and somebody who likes you for you, and you were ready to explore this new romantic connection, and he ended it so abruptly. So that really hurt your feelings. That caused another sense of rejection. Also, I feel that you felt really abandoned by him with no answers. And I feel that that led to quite a long time of self-reflection. You could have been thinking a lot about your own behavior towards him, like, what did I do to cause this? What triggered him? Did I say the wrong thing? Was I too cold towards him? Like, starting to look for the reason of this in yourself. I think this really puts you in a quite negative emotional state and quite a negative mental state, because you were not expecting him to end this so fast. Basically, before he had even started, he put an end on this. So I'm getting that for some time you feel really kind of just hanging on there and not knowing what to think, not knowing the truth about all this, and not knowing how to proceed, whether to put a closure on this or whether to wait and see what happens next. I feel there was a lot of uncertainty in that situation, and I think this guy just ghosted. He just disappeared in thin air, and he did not give you any kind of sense of closure. On his side, I'm also getting that he really hit rock bottom emotionally when he realized what a great woman you were and what he could have had. He realized slowly after this that you were offering him your heart, you offered him home, you offered him woman's love. You were somebody who really worth keeping. And I'm getting you have a very caring and nurturing energy. You could be somebody who has children. You know the expression of unconditional love. You give a lot of love to others. And by you allowing him into your life, you open the door to this unconditional love that you were keeping at home. You opened the door for him to be part of this, and he chose not to have it. He didn't want it, or he didn't realize what it was until later after he lost it. Also, I'm getting that this man, either at the beginning, he had a very good intuitive feeling that something great is going to come out of it. Like, he almost saw you as a woman he would like to marry, or he would like to have a home with. Whatever triggered that fear in him, that made him run and made him so scared of something that wasn't even there, I think it could have been either ghosts from the past. If he was mistreated in the past and he had unhealed trauma, he misunderstood your silence or your hesitance, your behavior. He took this as a potential rejection, and that's why he ended it before he goes further, because he was fearing rejection from you, or he was fearing that he won't be good enough for you. And I'm getting that he will put himself together, he will sort himself out, and he still sees you as this woman that he would like to marry or to have a home and family with, because he feels the unconditional love that you're giving out to them. Also, I'm getting that a big part of this fear and instability was possibly his financial situation not being very stable, and that makes him feel very insecure about his own future and what kind of future he would be able to provide for you if you come together as a serious couple, if you think about having a home and family together, whether he'd be able to be that stable partner for a loving woman like you. But I'm getting that this man will put a lot of work, a lot of time into his career or finances or business, whatever living he's making, and he'll come back and offer you a stable connection for the future, and he's going to be loyal, and he's going to be like worth a while. He will be able to offer you stability.